Hello, Taurus. Yep, I'm back. I'm here to say thank you again, just for the ways that you love in the channel. I appreciate you. Taurus, I'm here to just read with one deck. We're doing another bonus read. Just dropping one more for you before we go into the sneak peek for the week. I hope you're well. Happy almost weekend. You probably will be getting this on sometime on Friday. So happy weekend to you. Happy Friday. Taurus, I just want to remind you that if at any point you don't like the way I read or you're really offended by the things that I say, just please be reminded that out there are thousands of really capable, amazing readers. Please go pick one, because that would be something that I would rather you do than getting on me in the comments. I appreciate you for doing that. Thanks so much. Let's find out what's going on. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Taurus. Tell me about Taurus. Bonus read, Taurus. What's the plan, Stan? We've got the Two of Wands. What are we planning here? We are about to make some sort of decision. Oh, look. I think something here isn't going to go to plan. I'm just going to say, because the moon is in the reverse, and to me, something's about to be revealed about the plan. So it almost feels like the plan is about to change, Taurus. Isn't that mysterious? Let's find out what else is going on. We've got the Four of Cups. Is that what that is? Yeah, it is the Four of Cups. It almost gives you pause. I feel like the Four of Cups makes me feel like you either want to abandon the whole thing because it's not going to plan. It feels like it's something you're like, really? Again? Like it feels like there is some sort of rejection of the plan. Maybe you feel like you have to regroup before we go back to the plan, because the moon is here to reveal something. Tell me what's going on with the Two of Wands and the moon in the reverse. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. And the plot thickens. You never fail to bring me good energy. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. Something is going to be revealed, that the plan has to change because something is expanding. Something you didn't expect. Destiny shows up when it does, and destiny is about to reveal something to you. You might be saying, fine, if it's not going to go the way I planned it, then I'm just going to dump the whole plan. But wait, let's find out what's going on here. We've got the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it does feel like you're saying, look, if it's not going to go the way that I want it to go, then maybe I'll just ditch the whole plan. I don't think the Wheel of Fortune is going to allow you to do that, though. I'm just going to say that if this is like you're fed up with going through all of the interviews, that maybe you keep getting rejected over and over. I feel like as money gets lower and lower, you keep getting rejected over and over. Something is about to change. And I feel like something is about to be revealed to you about either the way you've been interviewing or the places you've been interviewing. It feels like something changes up. And it still is a plan, but it just may not go to the plan that you want to the letter. But you're kind of not really, well, I'm not going to say you are, because I don't know what your moon and rising is, but it feels like somebody here is not feeling very flexible about changing the plan or changing the situation as it is. But the moon here is about to reveal something to you. And what I do know about Taurus energy is that given enough information that you can verify as truth, you might change your mind about something. You might change the plan. Tell me what else is going on here. We've got the Six of Wands. I'm telling you what, I'm just going to stop for a second and just say this full moon in Aquarius has got my brain looking at everything at once. I am seeing things in the cards tonight that I haven't seen before. Things meaning different things to me. It's pretty wild. The clarity is amazing. But you know what? I do usually around full moons, every once in a while when a full moon comes by, I do have an upgrade in my gifts. Tell me if that's you. Is that you? Does that happen for you as well? Okay, we've got the Six of Wands here. I feel, Taurus, if you do go with the change of plan, you're ultimately going to be successful. This feels like maybe it's a business plan. Maybe you've already got it planned out for 5 years. Look, you're pretty resourceful when it comes to planning, especially in business. You're really good in business, Taurus. But it feels like something here is not your plan, or it's maybe suggested to change the plan, but it feels like it brings you this, all kinds of attention. It feels like you're under the sun, you're thriving. It brings you victory. It brings you success. And all of a sudden, in the background, I'm seeing all these people. Maybe it brings customers running. Maybe it brings people to you because the sunlight is on you. I feel like if you are the person who doesn't have a job, who's struggling with money, who keeps getting rejected, I feel like you must change something. And it feels like the plan. Okay, tell me about the moon being in the reverse. What's being revealed here? Tell me about the moon being reversed. We have the Queen of Swords. Look, the truth of something is coming out. So I'm going to say it's something you can't refute. It's clarity. It's clear truth, information. Somebody who I feel you trust, or you trust the information once you fact check it. You trust the information. Tell me why the Queen of Swords is here. We have the King of Swords as well. Well, the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, that's Libra and Aquarius, right? And so I'm going to say Libra, Gemini, Aquarius because we're in a general reading. But it does feel like there's backup coming. I'm just going to say, it feels like somebody's like, well, but if you did it this way, what if you did it this way? And you're like, but that's not the plan. Because I feel like you've already planned it out for maybe 5 years. This is the 5-year plan. It could be a business plan. It could be where you want to be in 5 years. But the King of Swords is the person who's going to say it without the candy coating. And the Queen of Swords is the one who is going to stand up in front of everybody and announce it. And is going to say, look, I'm not talking to you specifically, but I'm just up here to tell you this is the truth. This is what I do know to be true. I've experienced it. I know that this is the truth. This is somebody who is very good with their boundaries. So this isn't somebody who's doing it for attention, is what I'm saying. This is someone who really doesn't care who hears them, but if somebody's willing to listen, the Queen of Swords is willing to stand up at the podium and say it loudly. The King of Swords is here saying, it is the truth, and I'm just going to tell you really factually, in a cold sort of non-candy coated way. The Queen of Swords is kind of like that too, but doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. The King doesn't care if they ruffle feathers. Tell me why the King is here. We've got the Seven of Cups. Okay, so there is something here. I feel like it's like a truth transcends an illusion. It feels like there's something here that you're not able to make a decision on. Or it's almost like I'm going to say, let's just say, I'll give you, for instance, if you're in a business and you're doing the same thing over and over again, and you feel like you are not really gaining ground, but you keep meeting the same, you keep making the same amount of money each month, but you don't really know what to do in order to make more money than that. It feels like the King of Swords might be a lawyer, a judge, a magistrate, a professor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, somebody who really has a different, like an outside view. I'm going to say, I don't think you know the King of Swords, but I feel like you know the Queen of Swords. It feels like you trust the Queen of Swords. This could be the feminine energy. And the King of Swords, I think, is somebody who is a teacher. They could be someone who's interviewing you. They could be someone who's just going to stick you with the truth, and they don't really care how you feel about it. So I feel like it could be an illusion, or when the King of Swords brings the clarity to light, because it's revealing something, truth of some sort, I feel like you have to now relook at your plan. You have to plan again, or you feel like, wait a second, but I thought I had all the details. But the Seven of Cups says it's a bit overwhelming to hear the truth all at once, because I don't feel that the King of Swords is candy coating it for you. But I think that you heard this from the Queen of Swords in the past, but the King of Swords is bringing it forward. Yeah, it could be someone who says to you, you could probably stand to upgrade your skills, maybe. And the King of Swords says, look, you can't have this job because you don't know this, this, and this. You're going to need to upgrade your skills if you want this job. It feels like somebody here is going to mimic whatever the Queen of Swords has been saying to you in a kinder, softer way. And I feel like the King is just going to give it to you. And I feel like it's overwhelming emotionally for you, because now you feel like you've got to start at the beginning. And it's an illusion. You thought you were headed in the right way, and it feels like now you got to make a change. We've got the Fool. Yeah, it does feel like there needs to be a change in the plan, and it needs to happen now. We've got the the Four of Swords, some sort of clarity hits you out of nowhere here. And I think that you're about to change your mind about what this plan was initially. We do have the Seven of Pentacles. Back to work we go. So it feels like you maybe have to go back to school. I'm going to say that the way you made the plan was very intentional. And I think that it's something that you really perfected. It almost feels like it's something you perfected. We could be talking about a patent. We could be talking about a plan you made. Maybe it's a plan to travel. I'm just going to say we have the Two of Wands here. It feels like there is something here that upsets the plan. But the Fool energy is, but I know this thing. And I always liken the Fool energy to somebody who is maybe got a doctorate in, maybe they're a general doctor and they go into another hospital and they're saying, that's not the way we do that here. No, you need a specialty in order to work here. And I know that you come to us with great grades, you come to us with great, with whatever it is that we like to see in terms of how smart you are and all of that, but you need to have a specialty to work here. It almost feels like somebody stops you just before you get your victory and says, no, something's got to change. Something stops you before you get this victory. Something's got to change. And I think that you've been doing the same thing over and over for 5 years, wondering why you weren't getting any further ahead. Tell me what the Four of Cups is here. It feels like back to work. I've got to harvest something different. I've got to work on this or get better details. It feels like I've got to be intentional in the way I'm planting my seeds. We've got the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, it feels like a bit of stagnant growth in terms of your career or in terms of money. It feels like somebody here is trying to tell you to go another way. So the King of Wands is the one that's going to show up to inspire you to go out and get something, to control your fire, I would say, but also is trying to inspire you with fire to get out of the comfort zone, I would say. It feels like you're really good at something, but it feels like you're maybe not willing to upgrade, or you feel like what I'm doing now is fine. I'm not going to change the way I do things. Maybe it's a recipe. Maybe it's like, I'm not going to change the way grandma made it. And maybe if you just upgrade it, maybe now you can sell it to other people. We've got the Two of Cups here. Yes, it does feel like it is something that you've been doing for a while. This feels like something that might be close to your heart. So maybe you come from a long line of doctors, or you come from a long line of dentists, or it feels like this is something maybe that your dad did or your mom did. It feels like you've been... I'm going to say copy paste. It's like a patent, or it feels like this has always worked. Why doesn't it work now? Somebody here is trying to inspire you to get closer to the truth, to really bond yourself to the truth. It feels like it's time for you to sort of look, we've got 4 and 2 is 6, look into the nostalgia and say, maybe you're doing what you're doing because somebody taught you to do it, and you don't want to lose the memory of your mother, or you don't want to lose the memory of your father, or whoever the person was who was your mentor. It feels like the way you're doing something is something that is stuck within you nostalgically, but it also has stalled you in terms of where you're going in life at this time. I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe you can tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like something here, if you decide to change, it will grow. And I feel like everything will move forward and you will have some sort of a really great victory. But it feels like there has to be some sort of a change or an expansion of some sort. And I don't know if you're ready to grow because the King of Pentacles is in the reverse. We've got the Nine of Cups. It's alignment. It feels like emotional alignment. I'm going to say that possibly you're doing something in your life that someone told you to do. This is the way you do it. Do not veer off the path. This is tradition. This is the way we've always done it. And I feel like you're not necessarily happy doing it the way it was done. It feels like something has to change in order to bring you into emotional alignment with self, which means I'm happy with how I'm doing it because it's not only the foundation of what I've learned, the factual stuff, but it's also emotional happiness. And so I think that's what needs to change. That you could do this until you walk off the end of the earth into your grave, but I feel like something here has to change in order for you to be joyful and happy and feel like this is a wish fulfillment for you. We have the Ace of Pentacles. It might mean planting your own garden and deciding what you're going to do with that patch of land. Maybe it is about farmers. Maybe everybody was a farmer and now you don't want to be a farmer. You'd rather grow something else that you see that is more valuable. It might be you decided, I would rather grow my happiness. But in order to do that, something has to change. We've got the Hierophant energy, but I don't think you want to change. So we've got the Six of Swords here. I feel that once you decide that maybe it's possible you could change, that everything is already in motion, it feels like you are standing on business. It's like, no, this is the way we've always done it. It's tradition. This is the way we've always done it. But I really do feel that you can put your own spin on something. It could be that you are a baker and you have a specific recipe and you never divulge the ingredients, but it's time for you to change. And it feels like, no, this is tradition. This is always the way we've done it. What if we change it and it doesn't work? I feel like when you decide to change, when you decide to add a little something or plant your own garden or make your own flower, maybe you're going to merge two types of flowers together. Like it feels like something that is traditional, but you're putting your own spin on it. It does feel like it is a career choice that will be a lifetime career choice, or it does feel like it is something that you feel quite stuck in, that you feel like it is so traditional that you don't want to change it. Let's talk about the Five of Pentacles, because although I don't feel like maybe for someone you are low on money or you're wanting to make more money than you have been, maybe you see everybody else who is excelling in front of you and you're like, well, what are they doing to get ahead? And where I'm here with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, I'm at a place that I built to get here, but I'm not getting any higher. My kingdom isn't growing, and I don't know why. It feels a little bit stagnant. I feel somebody shows up. Could be a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or it could be Leo season because the king is here. But it feels like it's time for you to change your path. And I think that's going to be a little bit hard for you to do. Yes, because we've got the Two of Pentacles, we've got the Knight of Cups here, and we've got the Ace of Swords. I feel like some sort of truth needs to be seen before you're going to be able to make the decision to change. Because I feel like this Knight of Cups is telling me that you've been meandering on the same path for a while. And it's almost as if you didn't really have to make any decisions about what was on the path because you were following tradition. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it can be, and it's not always, it can be that, you know, the whole family ends up being Catholic because of what they were told from the person before them. Don't you dare step out of line out of the Catholic religion. And I know some of you that watch me are hybrids like me. You do believe in the religion in some part and parcel, but you also are spiritual, and you will merge the two depending on the answer that you need. So I feel like there is somebody here who sees the illusion, makes a decision to go with clarity, to change their mind. There is a decision here about seeing the truth of something, and seeing the truth of something really is a decision, right? That's a decision-making process. You can put the blindfold on and you can walk around with your blindfold on and still be fine, but you just aren't, your kingdom's not going to grow. And I feel like somebody does want their kingdom to grow. Let's talk about this Six of Wands, because I feel like this is where the change must happen in order to be able to have some sort of wild success. We've got Temperance, yep. We've got the Seven of Swords, and we've got the Six of Cups. You are going to have to go against your nostalgic thoughts about something. It's almost like the feeling of, well, maybe they didn't lie, but maybe they just held something under the surface in order to steer me onto the path that they wanted me on. The Temperance card is here, and the pots aren't necessarily in balance. Something is a little bit off. I feel like when Temperance shows up, it's almost as if it's time to heal. It's time to really look with clarity look into the nostalgia, the tradition, how I grew up, what I've been thinking about the situation. The Seven of Swords doesn't necessarily mean someone was lying, but it almost feels like, I'm going to say somebody made you believe in Santa or made you believe in the Tooth Fairy. It feels like one of those things. It's something that is coming to light that I feel wasn't exactly the truth, but I think that you know that it was done out of the goodness of someone's heart. Yeah. So I feel ultimately, friend, you are going to have to change something in order to be as successful as you want to be. You're going to have to change something that you've been doing that has been a pattern. It feels like you always getting what you always got because you're refusing to change. But when you change and go a different way, you will get something different. And I feel like that comes with the Wheel of Fortune. What happens if you decide to change your path, change your mind, change whatever you've been doing? Because I feel like it could be somebody who feels like, why am I not getting the job? Why don't they pick me? Why am I not getting the fellowship? Why aren't they picking me for the fellowship? I don't understand. Why do I always get passed over? Tell me about Taurus. We've got the 10 of Cups, we've got the 5 of Cups, and we've got the 8 of Wands in the reverse. It feels to me like you can be happy, but you've got to turn your back on something. But turning your back on something is going to make you feel as though you are turning your back on the family, turning your back on tradition. But this is what's keeping you stuck, friend. The inability to change your mind or change how you think about something or how you look at it. And I feel like the 10 of Cups is like, it was fine for my family. Why can't it be fine with me? It can be. Absolutely. You can choose to stay where you are. I'm not telling you have to change. But I'm just saying that if you want to move further than anyone ever has, if you want to fulfill your fantasies and your dreams, it feels like you do have to change something. It feels like right now you're trying to find the courage not to hold back and to make some sort of change. We've got the Page of Pentacles, the 2 of Swords, and the High Priestess. There is an opportunity that's showing up. And I don't know if you're ready for it because the 2 of Swords is here. And it feels like almost I'm at a crossroads now. I got to make a decision to go against the family and go for what I want, or stay in the tradition and just be okay with the King of Cups or King of Pentacles being in the reverse. It's going to come down to your intuition, friend. Are you willing to take a risk or are you not? Because it does feel like you're being asked to go on a really exciting path. There's 2 wands, but they're different here. There's 2 wands here. Somebody's holding them out on the path. But it looks like the Page of Wands is curious enough to go their own way. Yeah, in order to be excited. The Queen of Wands is here. That could be a mother figure. The Hermit is here. I feel like you are about to go into Hermit energy and try and figure out what your passions are. And then I think you're coming out to make a bold move into your future. We've got 3 wands here. Taurus, I'm going to leave this right here. Thank you, friends, for coming here and watching. I do appreciate you coming and watching me under this full moon in Aquarius. So much appreciate you. Thank you for your hypes. Thank you for your thumbs up and the way that you have been exponentially growing this tribe. Welcome to you if you're a brand new Taurus. Welcome to 10 of Cups Tarot. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.